Advice.
Hey everybody, as you heard, this is the advice section. I'm bringing it back. I really wanted to start something up here, and a lot of people aren't responding to the stuff. So I've got Angie from La Chica Gives Advice, right? Was that the name of the podcast? Or no,
La chica, la chica keeps it real.
La Chica Keeps It Real. There we go. I was thinking two steps ahead. So Angie, welcome to the advice section here.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you.
Yeah, so Angie was kind enough that she said she'd be willing to help me answer some questions. So we're just gonna dive right into it because it is the section here. So a gentleman by the name of Yadon is asking, I need help planning a bachelor party for someone who doesn't drink or want to go to the clubs, but wants to go to Vegas. Gives a little bit of a detail in here, but a lot of it is basically they're going to Vegas, but his buddy doesn't want to drink, smoke, or go to many clubs. So what kind of advice would you give Yadon and his buddies here?
That's a perfect question for me because I did my brother's bachelor party. My brother and I were like best friends, and he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. So I would suggest, obviously, I mean, you have to be really good friends if you're the one throwing the bachelor party.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you know your friend, you know, there's something that he likes. I would go with that, like something that he, you know, if you know, let's say he likes a show or he likes a specific, I mean, there's so many shows over there and there's so many things to do. So I would start from there. Like let's say I'm doing it for you, Jared. And let's say you like magicians or you like magic or even just, you know, let's say okay, you don't like drinking and you don't like then but you like gambling, you like going to casinos, maybe you know how we usually just like bar hop, then just casino hop or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, so I think that that's the best idea. I mean, just focusing on his likes and what he is comfortable with, and you know, put him in an atmosphere that he's going to enjoy himself. And I think that then he can start from there and just, you know, just kind of do a little research on what can be aligned with his likes.
The first thing that I'm going to point out here is you're a pretty damn shitty friend if you think that a bachelor party is literally just getting wasted and going to clubs.
Exactly.
If that is your idea of a bachelor party and you have to ask the internet for advice, you are not the right man for your friend. If you can't take into consideration that your buddy loves laser tag or likes like you said, going to see shows or enjoys gambling or something like that, if you can't find anything else to do other than those two stupid things for a bachelor party, you need to be replaced, my friend.
I think that he's pretty much taking this as his own party.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question sounds a little bit selfish, I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Because if I'm the bachelor, like if I'm the bachelor, no, the what is it, the best man or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we're supposed to be like best friend. We're supposed to be practically either like your real brother or like a brother. So you pretty much know your friend.
Yeah.
So one, if his friend really wants to go to Las Vegas, I mean, that's the main question. Did it say that it was his friend, like the one getting married that wants to go to Las Vegas, or was it his own idea?
Because the whole statement is like, I had my own bachelor party in Vegas and know the deal. He has expressed that he doesn't want to drink, go clubbing, and wants to basically have a boys' weekend of playing games in Nostalgia MTG and smoke a ton of weed. I know this will be a disaster in Vegas since that it is excluding 2/3 of all activities in the city, plus they are aggressive towards weed, even though it's legal in the state. I'm convinced it would be better off to pick another state that's that's recreationally legal, as well as has a casino or two in it, because he does want to gamble, as he's never done it before. But to go to Vegas and essentially hang out all day in the hotel room playing games, cards, smoking isn't an option for the price, distance, and really makes sense at all. I could use some help planning states that have both weed friendly and casinos so we can plan an experience to tick all his boxes. It would. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at reading this crap. It
No,
just
don't worry
won't be
about that.
fair or fun to have him go to Vegas and he basically doesn't do anything Vegas-y. I'd rather rent a cabin or an Airbnb that's 420 friendly, and we can have the boys' weekend he wants, plus some light gambling on one of the days. Thanks, internet. Yeah, dude, like the problem is like if your buddy wants to go to Vegas, go to fucking Vegas. That's what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
You said it best. It's his bachelor party. It's not yours. And you go into it with that attitude where it's going to suck. It might just suck because you went into it with that attitude. Go into it with an open eye. Yeah, 2/3 of Vegas isn't there. Motherfucker, I live in Wisconsin, all right? Like, I live in a college town. There's not a whole heck of a lot to really do here in the college town other than college things. And I'm 34. I still make it work. I still have fun.
Exactly. And well, I live in South Florida, and the Hard Rock Cafe, the guitar. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people know about that one. It's amazing. It's incredible, and it has. I think that could be an option. Is the Seminole Hard Rock in South Florida in Hollywood? It's incredible. It's the rooms are beautiful. The atmosphere is awesome. There's a strip and everything is inside of the casino. Like you don't even have to go outside of the streets. It's everything's inside the casino. They have like a lazy pool or a lazy river, whatever they're called. They have obviously bars everywhere. Well, he doesn't drink, but they have restaurants. It's like a strip, and they have restaurants, outside music.
It's a whole
They
experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we're not 420 completely friendly, but you can work around it because there's plenty of people that work around that. I mean, I'm not a smoker, but trust me, I know, and I've seen. So I think he needs to start from scratch, and he knows he already has an idea. Is just doing the research. And I know is in New York, doesn't Atlantic City, doesn't it have, I've never been, doesn't it have like casinos or whatever? I don't know how pretty it is.
I mean, there you could basically. I think a lot of states are gambling states. Like, there's a Ho Chunk casino up here in Wisconsin where you can go gambling. But the problem is like, it's just that's all that is really around it because that's where one of my parents works, and it's really kind of interesting because like. You want an Airbnb out in the middle of nowhere where nobody's going to bother you for weed and go gambling? Okay, there's a spot for you, you know. But the biggest thing is that it sounds like with what the guy is doing, he wants to he needs to have a conversation really with his buddy and be like, look, we can go to Vegas, and if his buddy just wants the Vegas experience, go to Vegas. I know that he says 2/3 of everything is kind of out the window. Dude, your buddy might change his mind last minute. He wants a Vegas experience his own way for his bachelor party.
Exactly.
If you want to approach him and be like, yo, dude, you could probably go to New York or you probably could go to South Florida and you could have the same thing for like half the price. But if he's like, hey, no, I want to go to Vegas, dope, go to Vegas. I bet you any money there are places where you can like... Hi, Helios. There's places where you can go ahead and rent out like big rooms where you could probably like play a bunch of video games in that room and it's just fancy as fuck. Like, so.
Oh, those are the type of games that he's talking about, like video games?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a lot of like video, because like he said, it needs to be like a boys' weekend, where they just.
Oh my God, over here, dude. The best thing I'm telling you, he should come over here because if I'm not mistaken, here in South Florida, they have like this van or this truck or I don't know what it is that it actually it's only video games. Like you walk in there and it's kind of like you know those like limousines that have like the stripper poles and it has like they're all decked out.
But it's decked out for video games.
But it's decked out for video games.
I mean, that could be cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of video games the guy's looking into because he's not talking too much into it. But the first thing you should do is just figure out exactly what he wants, and then you're right, just go ahead and rock and roll with the research on what he's looking for, and just be that friend to him. Be upfront and honest. Be like, hey, you could save money by going to South Florida. You could save money by going to Wisconsin. You could save money, but if he wants that Vegas experience,
then just go to Vegas and then and tell him, look, we're gonna go to Vegas, but this is the only thing, this is only the only thing or the only type of experience that we're gonna get.
I wouldn't even go that far. I would just say, all right, let's go to Vegas, and then I guarantee you, when you're in the middle of things, you'll change your mind. Because I've I've never really wanted to be in a strip club until when I was down in Texas after I got out of basic training, and I ended up hanging out one. It was pretty fun. It's not as bad as I thought, but it's still one of
Hmm.
those experiences where I was like, yeah, this is something I don't really necessarily need to live out. So,
Perfect. Yeah.
uh,
Exactly.
let's see here. Train Rails 94. This is actually a day old, but oh well. Train Rails 94 says, my girlfriend, who's 20 years old, and my girlfriend of 2 years, wants a baby. I'm a 22-year-old male and don't. She wants a baby so bad. Ask me about it every day, and it's starting to make me resent the thought of it. I just feel like we're too young. I still have stuff I want to do as a young person, and I feel like I have more growing up to do before I make the lifelong commitment. I don't know what to do. It feels like she's going to break up with me, but I don't know. But I know we both love each other. And then there's an edit there where he thanks everybody for the ideas. So, girlfriend wants a baby, and she's 2 years younger, and they are 22 and 20.
You have to have a serious talk. And if she breaks up with you, let her go. Because it's something, and obviously I'm talking, from a woman's perspective. Uh, I have the opposite. I'm in the opposite situation. I don't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have kids and I don't want kids. But so that's that's a huge thing. It's not even like, oh, let's move to another state type of discussion. This is a real, true, raw, within her women roots, and it's gonna if he gets her pregnant, he will resent her. He will. It's gonna come to the point. One, does he ever want kids? That's something that he needs to kind of like. I know he's young, but he kind of has to have an idea if he does want kids, or he doesn't want kids at all.
Well, it does say that he does want kids, but he's like, I'm way too young. I'm 22. I want to wait. Where is it at here? Oh shit, wrong one.
When he's
Uh,
more mature or something.
Uh, he's like, yeah, I feel like I have more growing up to do before I make that lifelong commitment. Like he's stating what everybody thinks to begin with. Is he's like, I don't want a kid yet. I
Yeah.
don't feel stable and everything. And you're right. All he's got to do is sit down and tell her, look, I don't want to have a kid yet. Can you wait a couple of years? And if she's baby crazy at 20 and she wants a kid now, say
Yeah.
bye bye to your girlfriend. You now have an ex girlfriend, and you get to live that life alone. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you, Angie. I don't want kids. I've solved that problem quite a while ago, and I've been living a very single life for quite a few years, and it's great. It's nice because I have that privacy that I want, and I have the ability to do whatever I want. But yeah, the thing is basically he just needs to tell her, hey, I'm not ready yet, and if you need a baby now, you're now my ex girlfriend. It's plain and simple.
And I know I mean, and I don't want to sound like a bitch, and I don't want to sound like heartless or whatever, because obviously there is love, but the thing is that love can turn into hate real quick, because if something happens, if she does get pregnant, if I'm not saying that she will, and I don't want people, but there's women that get to the point that they will do whatever it needs to do, whatever she needs to do, because that feeling takes over her, that urge, that urgency. It does. I don't know how to explain it, but it is something that
It makes them
it
crazy to where they have to have a baby because it's the only thing they can think of.
exactly.
Yeah. No, it's understandable and it's okay. And you're right. Resentment builds and builds and builds. There has
And
been
it's even worse. And
yeah.
then imagine, so you resent her, now you have a child, now you're stuck, I'm sorry to use these words, but you're stuck with this person for the rest of your life.
For 18 years.
And but so it's better to just be honest, be forward, be blunt. In a way, this is a situation that you do need to hurt her feelings if you need to, because you have to be honest. And if she gets her feelings hurt, you know what, 3-4 years from now, when she does find that person, if that happens and she does have a child and etc., she's gonna look back and say, you know what, such and such, I respect him.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Maybe. Depending upon how baby crazy she is. Depends on the situation. I've not had many exes forgive me, but then again, there have been some very different situations. Um, a lady here, another female, a female is asking us a question here. She's asking, "Did I cross the line with a colleague? I am a 24-year-old lady who recently went to my first office holiday party. I actually did that too. I attended my first holiday party ever for Christmas a few weeks
oh
ago.
wow,
Yeah, and I know, and
nice.
I'm 34, and I attended my first holiday party ever. That was pretty big. So she recently attended the first holiday office party and was introduced to one of her colleagues' wife. Uh, Her colleague is a 45-year-old man and his wife is 40 years old, who was very nice until he had mentioned that her birthday was close to his. And of course, his wife got a little upset and was like, "Oh, you need a Google reminder for my birthday, but you totally know her birthday just by memory." And then she just kind of became she was mean for the rest of the. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna reread that because that
Go
fucking
ahead. It's okay.
stuttered.
Don't worry about it.
So a lady here asked us, did I cross the line with my colleague? I'm a 24-year-old female who recently went to my first office holiday party and was introduced to one of my colleagues' wife. Her colleague is a 45-year-old man, and her wife is a 40-year-old. His wife is a 40-year-old female. God damn, this is so hard. Who was very nice until he had mentioned that my birthday was close to his, and of course she responded with, "So you know her birthday, but when you've known her for a month, but needed a Google reminder from mine." His wife seemed fairly upset about it. She kind of made a bunch of comments like, women are beautiful, and then was pretty passive aggressive through the rest of the thing. So, did she cross the line, or did her husband cross the line?
No, God, fucking women, bro.
I, I
Women are so.
love, I love this here because the answer is simple. Anytime
It's
some,
close. It's close to her birthday.
oh, your birthday is April 1st of 1988. Oh my God, my birthday is March 25th. That's so close, bitch. I'm gonna remember that shit. Like my best friend, who is like I've known her for so long. Her birthday is like 3 or 4 weeks before mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I'm gonna remember it. I can like the only reason why I remember my little brother Yoshi's birthday is because it's right around July 4th. Like I do. There's a quick little math equation that I do.
Of
You know,
course.
it's because it's around these major events. He didn't do shit. His wife is just jealous that he was able to do a quick little mind trick because he had something so close in common with you. It's ridiculous.
And because she's young, and oh God, that's fucking pity, man. That's a woman being a woman. My older brother, the only reason he remembers my birthday is because we're a week apart.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the only reason, and he'll say it. He's like, "Well, I know her birthday because it's 8 days after. It's 8 days before mine." Like that's the only reason, and he still doesn't even call me to say wish me a happy birthday.
If it makes you feel any better, I have to have Google reminders go off for like all my other birthdays.
So it's just no, you didn't because it's like I thought she was gonna say like I don't know like they were found she found them somewhere talking or no
No,
that's no
just
that's
they had a birthday together. They had a birthday together. They have a birthday that's real close, and the wife got pissed off about it.
no no
I bet you
that's
any.
insecurity.
I bet you any money they either recently had a fight earlier, or the wife is a little tipsy and kind of upset about some things and being super passive. So
No, I bet you she's pretty.
that
That's
probably
plain
yeah.
and simple.
I hate that.
That's plain and simple.
I
I bet you she's pretty, and or she had like she was pretty. She's pretty, and she was like very well dressed because of the Christmas, and she just felt threatened.
that's actually a very fair point. There was a girl that I was talking to recently, and I was like really excited about her. And my best friend that I was talking to, she got really upset because I was spending a little bit more time with her. And she was like, "Oh, who's this girl you're talking to?" And of course, I'm like, "Oh, this is her. Her name is Vanessa, and here's a picture of what she looks like because she asked." And she got real like I felt that in her. I was like, "You're getting petty because you're threatened by her." It's like, why are you threatened? You're in
Yeah,
Canada of all places, and you're not trying to date me. What's the deal? So I know women can be weird. Women can be weird. Nothing
that's
wrong
why
with it.
That's why, I pick and choose my. I'm not a woman that has a lot of friends.
Well, then this next question might be a good one for you if you don't have many female friends. Red Pill Bob 69 asks the quality of men's underwear. Do men get judged heavily based on the first time you see his underwear? It seems trivial, but it might be something. I'm curious if this is a big thing.
No, as long as it's clean or not smelly. And I'm not talking about like, like sweat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't look. No, I don't look. I, I don't pay attention to that. Like, who the hell cares? I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Like, I don't know why you would. Like, I look. What I look for a man is like he's clean. That that he smells good. That one thing that his hands are clean. That's a huge thing for me. If your fingers, if you're like, your nails and stuff, that's a huge thing. But underwear, no. Like, no.
My
I
goal
mean,
is
we
to
all
make him giggle. I
like
I specifically had a date that I knew was going to go well, and so I literally went out to Walmart. I bought myself a pair of leopard print spandex, and it was the funniest thing in the world. I loved it. I mean, I rarely ever wear it again, but like that's my goal. Is it's like, yeah, it's kind of an intimate moment, but what can make this better? And you're right. You want to be a very clean guy as it is, but like as long as it's not some ratty, torn up piece of garbage, like, yeah, dude,
exactly.
be presentable. How hard is it to be presentable? And if you can make them laugh in the process too, fucking win-win, big guy.
Exactly. Don't know if she if he's doubting that, it depends. Then it makes me doubt like how does how does this his underwear, like how well taken care of his underwear is. Like, should we be sending him underwear just to like make sure that they're not ripped up or whatever?
I think it's just that he's got the typical guy boxers that are just like all black or all one solid color. He's had them for a little while. He's probably just nervous about meeting his first girlfriend or something like that,
No,
or
just tell him
something.
no.
Dude, it's easy
Well,
enough. Go to Walmart, find some
I
funny
was the
underwear.
I was about to say that. Just buy new underwear. That's it. It doesn't matter what they look like, just as long as just buy new underwear.
You're
Just
gonna
have new underwear for that.
Yeah, you're gonna spend like what, 50. Thank you, Helios. You're gonna spend like $50 on a date, right? To go out with this woman, or like before she sees you. What's an extra $5 at Walmart to get a clean, funny pair of underwear?
Exactly.
And see, that's where you can use your smarts there. As if she really likes SpongeBob, that she's a big fan of SpongeBob TV or something like that, or just anything in general. You find, oh hey, that's right, she likes My Hero Academia or something like that. You could find something that suits along her way. Extra brownie points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I can even flip it around. Do you guys actually think that we walk around with the underwear that we use when we're gonna sleep? That we show you guys when we're gonna sleep with you guys? No, those shits are super uncomfortable. Like, what woman in a daily basis wears those type of underwear? No one.
A girl who wants to feel sexy as shit underneath. I've literally talked to many women who have worn that lacy stuff randomly, of course. Now, mind you, randomly, because they're like, I wanted to feel sexy that day, and they put on just the hot stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a pair like that. I was like, I feel like I look 1,000 like I feel way better in these than I feel in anything else. And even if it was just like when I worked at the cheese factory, I had that pair on one day because I was like, I need to pick me up, and so I wore my special pair, and I was like, yeah, I feel good today. It wasn't the most comfortable day, I will give you that, Angie, but like,
Exactly.
I felt better. I felt better.
Exactly. Or I guess because I mean you live in cold weather,
Mm,
but I live hello, South Florida, we're like 80 or above.
yeah.
So trust me when I tell you, not a lot of women, like I would probably, if I have a date after, let's say after work or whatever, I'll take it with me, and then before the date, like I'll switch it out. But there's no way in hell that I can, no. Like, the furthest I would go is like my bra.
Yeah,
Like,
I learned that real quick, real fast with a woman, where she it was a impromptu date. I was like, hey, where's the usual cute stuff that you always wear? And she's like, oh, you really think? And I was like, oh, I'm young and stupid. Gotcha.
exactly. Exactly.
So you know what they say, 12. is a 20-year-old female who is asking us, how do I stop taking everything so seriously? I says, I just want to be one of those people that can laugh and move on, that doesn't ruminate, that's a good word, or make everything out to be a big deal. I can barely bring myself to go out with friends or family anymore without catastrophizing. Is that even a fucking word? About what might happen. And I can't break the cycle of thinking everyone had everything bad or a terrible thing can or will happen.
But like in a, but is she talking about like she takes everything too serious, like into a negative way, like in a negative way, or like she just overreacts about stuff?
I don't think it's overreacting. It's just I think it's overthinking.
Over
Because
analyzing.
yeah, I can't break the cycle of thinking everything bad or terrible that can happen will happen. And
Oh,
then
so it's like the negatives. Okay,
yeah.
okay. So she's a half empty type of a cup half empty type of person.
Well, I don't think it's a cup half full. I think that it's just she's thinking, oh, let's go play pool at the local bar or something like that. Oh, Timmy might get too drunk, blah blah blah. Like she just starts to go down the rabbit holes of
Oh, okay.
everything that because she used a great word here, and I think she spelled it wrong. But friends or family anymore without catastrophize.
Catastrophizing.
Yeah, catastrophizing, and it's spelled. It's probably spelled incorrectly, or I'm probably mispronouncing it. One of the three. But like, she's just thinking of all the negative things that can happen or will happen if she goes out. It sounds like she wants to go out and do all the fun things, but she just can't wrap her head around the fact that when she goes outside, that it could go good.
Then one, double check who you're going out with. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if because if she kind of feels that way, maybe it's because she's had incidents that because there is times that like if I go out, let's say, I don't know, whatever, let's with Tommy and Tony and whatever, and then Tony always gets drunk and gets in a fight and this and that and whatever, you know the, and it's kind of like a consistency, and then afterwards you're like, oh, Tony's going, oh man, but like, yeah, what's gonna happen if it's that situation. Then she has to kind of like she has to analyze first who is it that she's going out with, and then out of X amount of people that she goes out with, focus on the ones that who do you really truly feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's one or two people, hey, that's okay. If it's only one person, that's fine. But
Yeah.
she, and start.
Well, I think you actually hit the nail on the head there, Angie. To be honest with you, is pick and choose who you're going out with. Because I had a buddy by the name of Brad, and I'm willing to use his name because it's so common. But Brad liked to get drunk, and every time I'd hang out with him, we were at a bar, we were going out and doing something, and I don't drink, and I'm like, okay, I'll go out, I'll hang out, I'll drink 7 Up, I'll hang out with you. But he would always get super sloppy drunk, and something inevitably would come from it. Like his girlfriend would be pissed off at me, but she was more pissed off at him for just not listening to her text messages. Like I'd be the one that'd get a text message from his girlfriend, and I'd be like, hey, Brad, Sandy's hitting me up. Sandy says you need to go home. And he's like, fuck that bitch. And it's like, dude, that's the mom of your 2 kids. You probably should go home now, bud. You're really drunk. And then I always felt bad because you had to take care of him. But that's the thing. You're right. Like, if you're going out constantly with certain people and bad things are happening, maybe stop hanging out with them less, which is why I don't hang out with Brad anymore.
Exactly.
So
and that's the reason, yeah. And that's why I've always been this way. And that's one thing that, before the pandemic, like my best friends, most of them moved away, and I only have like two here still, but one of them is married, so it's pretty much only one, right? The one that just had the baby. But they've always told me, it's like, Ange, like, why are you so antisocial? Like, I'm not antisocial. I go out with you guys. I'm very social. I just don't like stupidity. I'm very selective on who I go out with. I'm very selective who I go out with. I'm very selective who I allow in my house. I'm very super select, and that's something that I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's good. But that's what it is. If I know that I'm gonna let's. I mean, I like to drink, but and we're if we're gonna go drinking, I don't go drinking just with anybody.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I so she needs to kind of like sit down and analyze, being that she's so, and I'm very analytical, so that I understand her. So that's the reason why I went to the point of she needs to start checking out who, or double checking who she hangs around with.
It's yeah, just figure out who your friends are and figure out why you're feeling those feelings. And if it is that consistent thing like it was with me and Brad, then yeah, maybe go out with him every so often because you know where it's going to go. That might be a thing. If you're just having thoughts of just sheer disaster is always going to happen, one of the things that I do when I watch movies is I literally just shut my brain off. I go, I'm gonna go play paintball today, and shit's gonna happen, and then you just go into it. It's a thought process that you're gonna have to put yourself into, to where if it's not your friends are always being dicks, it's that you just have these looming thoughts of doom. Just you're gonna want to go ahead and just put yourself out there more and continue to try to un to rewire your brain. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. You rewire your brain to go, okay, this is how things are, and see, good things can happen. So that's it. Now we're gonna hit a rapid fire one here. We're gonna try to keep this one quick, just because I like these little rapid fire ones here. So watch more TV. Angie is asking us how can I get out of a rut? Stuck in a rut. He says, I haven't worked in 10 plus years. I never went to college or learned a trade. In between all of that, I was diagnosed with Asperger's and put on disability. I don't date because I can't provide. I am alone a lot. I am in my late 30s. I feel like a failure sometimes. So quick fire. How are we going to help out watch more TV here?
Go for a walk. Get out of the house. Just go for a walk and just keep walking. I'm telling you, it works.
Start
if
small.
You just keep, yeah, start small. One, before anything, make a list. Go for a walk. Start with 10 minutes. Go for a walk for a week. 10 minutes. So from Monday to Sunday, you're gonna go out for a walk for 10 minutes. The following week, add 10 minutes to that. Go, so forth and so on. Once you start doing that, you're gonna see that you're slowly but surely starting to kind of that completion of those 10 minutes or that week. It's gonna make you feel better. After that, do that for a month. The second month, this is very crucial. Clean I don't know if you have a room or an apartment, clean it. But clean it to the point, like clean it. Like move everything, clean everything, open windows, and then buy yourself a calendar. And then start with small goals. But you have to write them down.
I think that's a good idea. Is just to start small. I mean, if you're diagnosed with Asperger's, depending upon the severity of the Asperger's, I would maybe contact your physician and be like, hey, how can I get out more? I mean, if you're on disability, you're probably going to be able to get seen by a psychologist or a therapist to figure it out. And I think that is your first goal, is to just make contact with that therapist. And even with where I live, there's trails that you can go walking on. You're right, a 10-minute walk, even if you're just waving hi to people. There are plenty of people that I see all the time on the trails here that are constants, and you can make that constant person, and maybe one day they'll stop. But if you bring up the fact that you were diagnosed with Asperger's, that would be my first step, is to make contact with your physician, to talk to a therapist about how to maybe get out and kind of open yourself up a little bit more, because I don't know how severe his Asperger's may be. There was an episode, I saw a mini little clip on one of my funny websites about, it was this British TV show called The Undateables or something like that, where they took people who, you know what I'm talking about, Angie?
No, the title just made me laugh.
Well, the British are fairly mean about it, but they're the Undateables. Like, a lot of these people have they both had autism, and like the guy was like, they were so socially awkward, and it followed them along while they tried to date this guy and this girl tried to date each other. And the interaction to us as outside people were like, wow, this is so cringe, but that's the world that they live in. So depending upon how severe your Asperger's is, you might want to see a psychologist about something, about, hey, how can I get out there and go more? Because, I mean, your advice is brilliant. Just get out once a day, go for a 10-minute walk, and just keep doing that repetition and deep cleaning your house. I mean, God, I can't tell you how better I feel after deep cleaning the house, but we have to take into consideration how I don't know how to word this properly, but how bad is the Asperger's? Like, are you really
How
that?
advanced? How advanced?
Yeah, how
is it?
advanced? So if it's really advanced, bro, cool. Go ahead, talk to your psychologist, formulate a plan. If you got a touch of the Asperger's, where it's just you're kind of on the spectrum, follow Angie's advice. Deep clean your fucking place and go for a walk. It will do you wonders. I go for walks in between, I go for walks on every break around my trailer. It's fantastic. It definitely does help. Spot on,
And
Angie.
to add on with the your advice about the psychologist, ask them about either getting a cat, because obviously we don't know how advanced your situation is, your diagnosis, but ask them about either getting a cat or getting a dog.
I
If
bet
you,
you a cat is probably going to be better because cats are so self-sufficient.
the thing is, a dog will make them go out
Yeah.
because you have to walk them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, depending on his diagnose, then if he wants to be a little bit more social and he wants to kind of like try to date and etc. I mean, and he likes dogs, getting like a small dog will help him, because a dog kind of like changes your, you have to take, it helps you because you have to take care of something else
Yeah, you have to
besides
you
yourself.
have to get out there. You even like even with a Chihuahua, or
Exactly.
or like a miniature Schnauzer, like a 20-minute walk is ideal for them. Even if it's a light jog, and then hey, that brings more aspects into it. So yeah, if you got a touch of the Asperger's, I would say, it sounds so bad saying it. If your diagnosis is very light with Asperger's, I would say, yeah, get a dog. Dogs are brilliant. Dogs will change your fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
If your diagnosis is pretty heavy, get a cat. Cats are so self-sufficient. You just have to change the litter box every couple of days. Air fresheners, air fresheners, air fresheners. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah, as long as you feed them and water and give them water, they're pretty self-sufficient, just like my birds. I got to do a little bit more with them because they're more like a toddler. But yeah, cats are super. I didn't even think of that. That's great. Well, Angie, for those of us who want to continue to follow you and listen more to your advice and the female talk that is, what was the podcast again?
The chica keeps it real. This
The,
chica keeps it real.
this Chica Keeps It Real. Where are you at? Are you on Spotify, Apple?
Yeah, Spotify, and right now, and it's a small, I'm just starting it, but slowly but surely, I'm getting the hang of it, but I really enjoy it. So, and
No
you can
worries.
follow me. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Chica_pod.
Okay. Oh, I thought there was more to it. Usually people have some pretty big social medias out there, and I'm like, yeah, I have my YouTube and I have my my Anchor.fm that puts it out everywhere. So I got you. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, just so everyone can remember, where can we find you again for your podcast?
At Chica_pod. CHICA_pod.
All right. So just hang tight here. We're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna jump back into the episode we were on.